All right, everyone. Sorry the review was so long, and I didn't get to this in the review, so I'm going to be really careful and really slow here. The good part is you get to watch the video over and over and over again, so you'll be able to just go, wait, what did he say? Back it up and watch it, so you can pause it. All of you already have this document, so it won't be a Google Doc in the bottom of the video, like some of the other videos have, okay? Now, hopefully you've already watched the video on putting derivatives into the calculator, because I'm going to use that on this, and I'm also going to work this by hand. I know some of you have to show work on your test. Now, down here at the bottom, it's just going over a review of what you should have learned already in other classes. But if you don't remember, cost is the cost of produced items. Revenue is the amount of money generated by selling items. In other words, this is money in. This is money out. And profit's money kept. And we find profit by doing revenue minus cost. Okay? Now, we give meanings over here for marginal and average. Marginal means derivative. We went over that earlier in the review. What we didn't go over earlier is average cost, average revenue, average profit. That means divide by X. So you're going to have to take those and divide them by X. Okay? So when we do cost, revenue, profit, average means something different. Now, turning the page, we have our example problem. I'm going to work through this, and I've got some extra paper here because I'm probably going to need it. Okay? We're going to go through and again work through all of this. On a test, you probably wouldn't actually have to do all of these. Most likely, the only thing they might have you do is D, B, and earlier in the review, we found the approximate cost, so I would make sure I review that one as well. I'll probably add it in here. But I'm going to go ahead and work through all of these just in case. Now, part A, we want the profit function. I'm going to go ahead and zoom this a bit. I'm horribly bad about zooms. I'm also horribly bad about running off frame. So bear with me. I'm checking. The problem is my camera is way up above me, and I have about 100 watts of plant lights up there. So I get blinded when I look up. I mean, come on. If I turn on this 84 calculator with a glow-in-the-dark screen, it doesn't look glow-in-the-dark. It looks exactly like this one. So it's pretty bright in here. Sorry, you didn't need to hear that. But anyhow, profit. This is revenue minus cost. Now careful, we're subtracting the entire cost equation. So when you do this, it is negative 1 over 50 x squared plus 160x minus parenthesis 10x plus 2000. Okay, I'm going to distribute the negative through, so negative 1 over 50 x squared plus 160x minus 10x minus 2000. Distributing, collecting like terms, I get negative 1 over 50 x squared plus 150x minus 2000. Okay, so there's my profit equation. Now what I'm going to do, and it's going to be the same for both calculators once you get the derivative set up. So I'm going to set the 84, the nice 84 aside, because it's got a smaller screen. It'll be harder to see. So I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to go ahead and use the older 84 because it's got a bigger font to it and a bigger screen. And it's going to be much easier to see with the camera, and I won't have to constantly be picking the calculator up like this. Okay, so I don't have to move the camera around too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press Y equals, and you see Y equals. Now this will look different. On the newer 84, what you're going to have right there will look a bit different. It'll look like this right here. Okay, if you watch the video on derivatives, it'll tell you how to type that in the calculator. I am going to use that in a little bit. It just looks different. It still works the same way between either calculator after this is typed in. So I'm going to declare, I'm going to put a parenthesis. I'm putting an extra parenthesis around this profit function. You'll find out why in a little bit. Negative 1 divided by 50. I like to put parentheses around my fractions. Oops, I didn't put x squared. X squared plus 150x minus 2,000 close parenthesis. So there's my profit equation typed in the calculator. Let's bring it up a little bit so you can see it. If you have to, just pause the video at any point and look at the screen. Okay? So in y1 we've typed our equation. Down in y3 we have our derivative. Okay? Now part B, what we want to find in part B is the exact profit for selling 50 items. Well, the way we do that is we do P of 50 minus P of 49. You plug in 50, that gives you the profit for all 50 items. You plug in 49, that gives you the profit for all 49 items. Okay? So that will give me 50 minus 49, or isolate the 50th item. So what I'm going to do on my calculator screen, I have profit in Y1. I'm going to do Y1 of 50 minus Y1 of 49. And again, you're going to do the same thing on both calculators. It's going to look exactly the same. So I'm not going to worry about showing you the new 84 here. I'll press vars over to Y vars, press enter twice. Remember? Vars over to Y vars. Alright. Then I'll put parenthesis 50, close parenthesis, minus vars over to Y vars, press enter twice, parenthesis 49, close parenthesis. So I have written in here almost exactly what we have written down for work. I press enter and I get 148.02. Okay? Now, does that matter? I'm using it in the calculator. For those of you with a workout test, it shouldn't. Okay? Because you're showing them all the work right here. There isn't too much work to show other than typing numbers in an equation. So if you're afraid your teacher's really uptight, just go ahead and write it all out with the 50 in it and the 49. Do them separately. Okay? You can do vars over to Y vars and put parenthesis 50, close parenthesis, enter. You can get the profit for 50 and 49 separately. Okay? But the exact profit is this. What if I want to approximate the profit? Uh, 50th item. Okay, remember approximate is derivative. Let me switch colors here. Orange, Halloween's coming. And you're going to plug in 1 less for X. I'm almost off screen. That's not a good person. And I just noticed the camera shakes when I write on the table. I'll have to fix that. My camera rack's on the table, so that's why it does that. Plug in 1 less for X. Okay? So, remember my derivative is Y3. So when I go to type this in the calculator, what I'm going to do is Y3 of 49. So I press vars over to Y vars, press enter on function. I'm going to go down to Y3, parenthesis 49, close parenthesis, enter. Okay? Bring it up closer so you can all see it. And that comes out to 148.04. There's a quick review of a problem we did earlier. Okay? And again, the newer 84 works the same way as old 84 once you're on the home screen.